Hey guys, it's Tara. So today I am going to be doing a video on feminism.
Hi Tara, it's Kitty here, and I'm going to be watching your video about feminism. And I'm going to explain to you why you're wrong about feminism, as well as how feminism is sexist towards both men and women. Bear in mind that if you can't back up any claims that you make with facts and evidence, I will.
I have a very long disclaimer, pretty much equivalent to 2 pages.
Holy fuckity fuck! 2 pages of trigger warnings! You're going to be sending a lot of feminists running off to their safe spaces to play with bubbles and colouring books, aren't you?
I'm gonna try not to read from my book the whole time, but I'm sorry if I look down. For my Tara Talks videos, I write a script just because I want to get everything as right as possible. Okay, so let's do this. This is a disclaimer. Any video on feminism on YouTube will get hate, and I honestly can't stop that.
Any video on feminism will get hate. Are you thinking the same as me in that if feminist videos are so hateful that they get hate, maybe they shouldn't be on YouTube? Are you trying to silence feminists?
I can aim to educate people as much as possible through what I know. This is where I want to say that I do not know everything about feminism. I want to go as far to say that I am probably not even that educated on feminism.
You want to educate people on feminism, but you don't know much about feminism. To educate people on any subject, you should really make sure that you have all the facts first. I won't be making videos about how to change the oil in a car because I don't know how to change the oil in a car. Maybe you should start educating people about the things that you do know, and judging by your previous videos, that's passion.
What I say now in this video is based on what I have researched and what I know from past experiences or past information that I've consumed. Where hopefully I will look back on this video and have so much more to say about feminism in the future.
Yes, hopefully you'll look back on this video with a bit more life experience and knowledge on the subject that you're going to talk about.
But I do know that by filming this video and keeping the comments box below open, I am creating a forum for discussion and further education. So please make sure that you are being nice in the comment section below and that you're genuinely seeking to know more and educate yourself, or you are educating people in a manner that isn't demeaning but rather uplifting and helpful and helping people learn more about feminism. Essentially, if you're being rude or mean in the comments below, I will block and delete you just because I don't want to tolerate that here, and I've never had to do that in the past, and I really don't want to start doing that now. But I do know that a lot of people will be clicking on this video. It's tagged feminism and people just want to like swarm towards hate.
Good going for keeping your comments open. I'd like to see what you'd say to people who disagree with you. I might even decide to post a comment myself, but I have a couple of questions for you. What do you deem as not demeaning or uplifting? Do you want little smiley faces at the end of each comment? Do you consider that anyone who doesn't agree with you must be demeaning? How do I know the difference between what you'll delete and what you won't delete? It's likely to be really hard to find something to say that you'll accept as nice enough to remain on your comments thread, and I can't read your mind. And there's that thing again where you say that feminism is hate. Are you sure you mean what you say?
So I can't address every single smaller issue in relation to feminism.
Fair enough. We're just going to stick to the big stuff. I can live with that.
Feminism is such a broad topic, and to talk about everything in this one video is pretty much impossible unless you want to sit here talking for like 2 hours. And also I honestly don't know that much in depth about every single little piece of feminism. And lastly, before I start, I also want to acknowledge non-binary people. I had a bit of a struggle when I was writing the script for this just because I didn't know how to be inclusive of everyone. So after discussion with numerous people, thanks to Luke and Alice's friends for helping me out on this, I will be talking in regards to cis female and cis male people, as I am a cis female person myself, but I am acknowledging that non-binary genders exist and that they can face similar or the same types of experiences that cis females such as myself face.
What do you think gives you the right to speak on behalf of all cis females? I have a voice. I can speak for myself. And did you ever stop to consider that these non-binary people you speak of can also face the same things as cis men? Every person has a different life experience. You don't know enough about life to speak on behalf of anyone but yourself. I speak on behalf of me. You should be doing the same.
Once again, as I am cis female, I do not have the authority to speak on behalf of non-binary genders. I am just speaking from what I know personally.
You're speaking on behalf of what you know personally. You just said that you don't know much about the topic that you're about to talk about. How can you speak about what you know personally and still admit to not knowing?
So, what is feminism? According to Google, it is the advocacy of women's rights on the ground of equality of the sexes. Okay, this definition is probably where a lot of contentious issues arise in regards to what people think feminism is versus what it actually is. To break it down, 1, feminism is about equality.
No, it isn't. Even with the Google search that you did, feminism is about women, not equality. I'm okay, by the way, with feminists focusing on women, as long as they allow others to focus on men, which they don't because they'll just cry misogyny. But please, don't hijack the definition for egalitarian and claim it for feminism.
It is about striving to be on equal level as men.
You're in Australia, according to your YouTube About page. Are you not already equal to men? If you answer no to that question, you're wrong. There are gender discrimination laws in Australia. So what do you have to strive for now?
Essentially, what this means is men are privileged in most aspects and they have more advantages compared to women in regards to social, political, and economic needs.
Men have privilege when compared to women. Okay, let's compare men to women. I'm going to pop a few pictures on the screen. I'd like for you to tell me who is the most privileged here and who is the least privileged. Go ask your dad what privileges he has because he has a cock. Ask him what would happen if he went into the bank waving his cock around and asked for money. Would it work? No. Would it not be the case then that your dad has the privileges that he spent years of his life struggling to pay the bills to obtain? Do your nice clothes come from the fact that your dad is privileged enough that he didn't have to go to work almost every day of his adult life to be able to afford?
I was talking to my dad about this yesterday and he was like, so do women want to be treated the same as men? And I said, I think it depends on the person, but generally no, we just want to have the same advantages that men have.
I think you just pissed off a lot of feminists with that remark. Do women want to be treated the same as men? No, we just want to have the same advantages as men. I assume you don't want to have the same disadvantages as men? For example, a few months before you were born, did your mum take time off work? For a few years after you were born, did your mum dump you into daycare while she worked? Or did she personally raise you up to school age before she even thought about going back to work? Your dad probably wanted to help your mum build your family as well. But he had this disadvantage in that he knew that someone would have to bring money into the household, so you wouldn't grow up living in a cardboard box. Society probably wouldn't have accepted him as a dependable man if he didn't provide for his family. But no one would have called your mum a deadbeat if she chose to take that time off.
Feminism does not dismiss men.
I'm going to hold you to that. Let's see if those words don't come along and bite you in the arse.
It is just more focused on women because as a collective, women face more disadvantages than men as a collective do, which is why we must strive to be on equal level to men, which also leads back to male privilege.
Which also leads back to your dad waving his cock around in the bank and asking for money that he didn't earn.
And number 3, yes, men can be feminists too. It is not only for women. However, if you are male, don't speak on behalf of females, rather acknowledge the issues faced by females and then further support women.
So men can be feminists, but only if they support women. What's wrong with talking about issues that men face in a discussion that's about equality?
Feminism does not dismiss men.
What did you say about feminism not dismissing men?
As previously noted, feminism is such a broad topic, which breaks it down into different types of feminism. There are tons of different types, and I'm only going to briefly touch on 3 of them, and one into more detail than the other 2.
Oh, good. 3 types of feminism. I'll bet I can point out why each of them is sexist towards both men and women.
So the first one is liberal feminism. Liberal feminism is based on an individual woman's choices and empowerment.
Liberal feminism, based on an individual woman's choices and empowerment.
Feminism does not dismiss men.
According to liberal feminists, men don't get to have the choices or empowerment. Also, according to liberal feminists, you don't have the choices or empowerment without the help of liberal feminists, and you are unable to create your own.
And then there's radical feminism. And this reflects misunderstandings associated with feminism and like what it actually is, as many radical feminists aim for women to be socially dominant over men. I'm sorry, it just got really dark. It's a very exclusive form of feminism, and I don't even regard radical feminism as actual feminism because it's not equality. Radical feminists are the catalyst for misunderstandings in relation to what feminism is. They want women to be higher than men. So I don't regard radical feminism as actual feminism. And
Yeah, okay. I live in Scotland. I've heard that no true Scotsman thing most of my life. When you said that feminism was about equality, you didn't say anything about any exceptions. Also, you don't get to decide who is and is not an actual feminist. And those radical feminists are still feminists. And they believe that you can't do anything without the help of radical feminists.
the last type of feminism, which I'm going to be talking more in depth about, is intersectional feminism.
Just what I was hoping to hear. The one that you're going to go into detail about is the intersectional feminism. The one that demonizes both men and all white people everywhere.
So intersectional feminism was established in 1989 by a black woman named Kimberly Crenshaw. I'm sorry if I said her name wrong.
Yes. She claimed that feminists and anti-racists have left black women invisible in plain sight. She focused on African Americans. Are you African? Are you American? If you're neither, then you're invisible to Kimberly Crenshaw.
This concept already existed before, but she put a name to it. An extract from a text states, "It's a view that women experience oppression in varying configurations and in varying degrees of intensity. Cultural patterns of oppression are not only interrelated, but are bound together and influenced by intersectional systems of society. For example, race, gender, class, ability, and ethnicity."
Notice, in that quote, she didn't mention men at all.
Feminism does not dismiss men. So the theory of intersectional feminism focuses on multiple forms of oppression.
How are you oppressed with your nice clothes, nice room, messy bed. So why is this intersexual feminism thing relevant?
Which often intersects to create unique and various experiences of discrimination. Heading from an intersectional feminist 101, intersectionality has expanded to include the analysis of discrimination faced by anyone who identifies with multiple social, biological, and cultural groups that are not favored in a patriarchal, capitalist, white supremacist society.
White, supremacist, patriarchal society. That's racist and sexist. Neither are what you're living under. And I'm going to prove it to you with a nice little list of influential black women in Australian history. Bear in mind, it's not a complete list, just a list of 20 black women that took me all of 10 seconds to find. Think about how many I could find in an hour, or a day, or a week. The very fact that I found 20 prominent black women in the history of your country demonstrates that you are not living in a white supremacist society or a patriarchal society. Otherwise, I would never have been able to find them, because your white supremacist patriarchal society would never have allowed them to become influential in the first place. In fact, in a white supremacist patriarchal society, you would never have been allowed to speak out against this white supremacist patriarchal society. Look at the dates though. The first one on the list dates back to sometime between 1824, presumably when she was an adult by her standards, to 1876 when she died.
Feminism does not dismiss men.
No, intersectional feminism doesn't dismiss men, does it? Not only does it dismiss men, it dismisses any woman who is not black. See? Racist and sexist towards men and women. All three of your examples were.
As I was researching and reading up on intersectional feminism, and on the tablet site I just talked about, which will also be linked below, it spoke about calling yourself an intersectional feminist, and I found this really interesting. So to summarize, only black women and a black non-binary person can claim this title, as this notion was created by a black woman for black women. Although this concept has expanded, racism faced by black women differ greatly to racism faced by other races. However, you can still follow and support the intersectional theory and thought.
As long as you put black women at the top of your list of priorities. Yeah, okay. No, fuck you.
White feminism. So most of you have probably heard about white feminism or what it actually is. Personally, when I think of white feminism, I think of the struggles faced, such as catcalling, body shaming, objectification, sexual harassment on public transport, and the pay gap, and likewise.
Yep, totally gendered topics, aren't they? Also, the most benign of all problems in our society. You said you weren't going to talk about small stuff. Well, the sexual harassment on public transport isn't so small, but it is illegal. If you are sexually harassed on public transport, fucking report it. I didn't want to do this, but
The wage gap is simply the average earnings of men and women working full-time. It does not count for different job positions, hours worked, or different jobs. It has nothing to do with the same job. It has nothing to do with discrimination.
thanks, Shoe. And yeah, totally gendered topics.
These are the struggles that are more mainstreamed and associated with feminism. On a blog that I was reading, the writer said, "White feminism is a feminism that doesn't understand Western privilege."
So, white feminists can just go fuck themselves, right? They don't understand feminism.
Cultural context. It is feminism that doesn't consider race as a factor in the struggle for equality. Don't get me wrong here, because these issues faced by myself and other women
And men? Or did you forget?
Feminism does not dismiss men, are so valid, and oppression is not a competition. But there is also so much more than this too, and that is where intersectional feminism comes into place, where we also need to include other factors, not just gender.
And only the things that the intersectional feminist gives permission to talk about, according to you. You're sounding more and more insane as your video goes on.
Someone requested me to talk about meninism, so I thought I would just address it here. And if you don't know what meninism is, I'm just going to quote the very reliable Urban Dictionary.
Oh, you're shitting me, right? Fucking hell. Meninism is a bloody joke to show modern day feminists how fucking ridiculous their problems sound. And you're going to quote from Urban Dictionary for fuck's sake, too.
So meninism is a mockery of feminism.
So why the fuck did you even bring it up? If you know it's a fucking joke, why the fuck is it pertinent to the conversation? Fuck you, dummy, I'm done. I say this a lot, but for you, I'll say it with extra meaning. You're a fucking idiot. Go back to your fucking fashion videos. It's about all your minuscule brain can handle. Guys, there's no way in hell I can finish this. Not after that last piece of rubbish. I'm about a minute and a quarter to the end. If you want to go see the rest of what she has to say, I'll leave a link in the description. If I watch the rest, she's going to drive me up the fucking wall. Thanks for watching. Have fun, and I'll see you next time.